is Rach. Welcome back to another video. So today we are going to be starting a farming simulator series in FS22. So if you guys haven't already seen my review of FS22, then I highly suggest you check that out, and it will be linked in the cards up above as well as the description down below. But for today we are going to be starting a new challenge, and that challenge is me starting a new farm from scratch. So when I did my review of FS22 over on Twitch, I actually started my farm with the farm manager one because I'm not completely new to Farm Sim. I did play Farm Sim 19 before, and I didn't feel like the new farmer was quite the skill level I was at, but I didn't want to go full in with the starting from scratch. I wanted to be able to have some money and be able to test out a few things, so I did the farm manager. The farm manager is the second level out of the three, so there's the easiest one for people that haven't ever really played any farming simulator game before, and then there's the farm manager one, and then there's the start from scratch, which is the hardest one and the one that I would say is probably meant for the professionals, quote unquote, of the game that have been playing for a long time or played several farming simulator games in the past or are pretty used to the way that the game works. Now, the reason that this is a bit of a challenge for me is because I'm still fairly new to Farm Sim 22, and I'm not ready probably for this setting of gameplay and the hard economy, but I wanted to try it because it looked really fun, and I'm really obsessed with this game, so I thought it would be really cool to start off with this kind of farm. So the first thing that I did when I started up the save was I got my settings set to what I wanted them to be, so like for instance no crop destruction, so I could drive through some crops without having to worry about it and things like that. And then the other thing that I did right off the bat was buy myself some farmland, that way I could harvest my own crops and start growing my own things, which to be honest took a good chunk of my money because they only give you $500,000 to start with when you start off with the start from scratch, and that's not a lot of money compared to how much you get for the other save files. And it's definitely not a lot of money considering how much the equipment itself cost. So I'm definitely going to have to lease equipment from now on, but that does bring me to my next point, which was that the next thing on my list to do was to buy some equipment. So I wasn't able to buy a harvester because it would have taken literally all the money I had left, and I would have been really broke. So the only thing I actually bought was a tractor and a very small wagon to load the goods into, and then I just leased a harvester and a header so I could harvest all of the crops that I bought from the farmland purchase. I went ahead and drove all the equipment back to the farm and started work on harvesting those two fields because for some reason when I bought the farmland there were 3 fields available to harvest, and then after I bought the farmland only 2 of them were available to harvest, and one of them said that they had already been harvested, so that was a little bit odd to me. I don't know why that happened. But I went ahead and harvested the 2 fields that were left, and that's what I spent most of today doing, if I'm honest. It's harvesting and selling the produce, which I mostly sold to Goldcrest Valley, not just because I love using the train, but also because it was giving me the best money for my produce. Because again, that hard economy is really going to be difficult for me because I typically forget to check the prices when I'm selling things. Like I normally just take everything to Goldcrest Valley, but from now on I really need to keep a really good eye on it because if the prices change and something else is in the top spot, I really need to be going there because the economy is hard. Speaking of keeping track of everything, one of the things that I'm going to be keeping track of for a little while is while my crops are growing, I'm going to be trying to do some larger contracts for some other people. So the contract that I accepted at the end of this episode was a harvesting contract for Field 70, and it's a pretty large field because the map that I'm playing on, Elm Creek, has a pretty large field at the bottom of the map, which is Field 70, and it's really large. Like it's probably bigger than the entire farmland piece that I bought for like over $200,000. So the piece of land is pretty large, and harvesting it is going to be no joke. I mean, I'm using a pretty large harvester because I borrowed stuff from the contract, but it's still going to be insanely difficult to do, and I think it's going to take me pretty much all of next episode, which is another reason why I tried to do as much stuff as I could in this episode, because I wanted to make sure that you guys got a lot of variety from this gameplay, even though most of the gameplay will admittedly be harvesting and such. And one thing I do want to do, probably in the third episode, because like I said, next episode is going to mostly be me trying to complete that contract, but the third episode I was thinking I might try to plant some stuff, or maybe in the second episode before I start on the contract, I'll try to plant some stuff. But I want to start getting some crops growing, so if you guys can leave a comment down below with whatever crop type you guys think I should start off with, because I am, as I said, kind of a beginner. I mean, I'm not really like a full beginner to the game, but I am kind of new to it. So if you guys have a crop that you think would be semi-beginner friendly and wouldn't require me to do a lot of like fertilizing and all that, then do let me know in the comments, because I would love to hear you guys' suggestions for crop types and stuff. But yeah, that's about all I wanted to talk about today. So if you guys enjoy this series, leave a like and subscribe. And now I think I'm just going to let you guys enjoy some music and the sped up footage of me harvesting and selling my crops. And I will see you guys in the next one.